I'll probably just introduce you and then let you go on about yourself for just a quick second.
Okay, so like, I should aim for like about an hour talking about myself, or
yeah,
like,
yeah,
perfect.
That'd be perfect. Yeah,
great.
I want to know year you were born, social security, address, mother's maiden name, all that stuff.
Gotcha.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Common Ground Podcast, your favorite podcast. We talk about your favorite format, Pauper. I am your co-host, Cameron Schindler, joined as always, episode 113, by the at-home sick Thomas Cohen. How are you doing? Sorry you're under the weather.
I'm not sick. Oh. I'm fine.
Sick of my shit.
I mean, only slightly. No, I'm kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, James is feeling a little under the weather. Not me. So, unfortunately, James will not be with us this week. No, I'm fine. I just had a bunch of stuff to take care of at home and some car stuff. A little bit of car stuff coming up. So trying to be a little lighter on the car this week before we get that checked out. But otherwise, I'm doing well. How are you, buddy?
I am all right, recovering from, dude, I've just had like a constant headache. Shout out to Joyce Manor, but for like the past week of just worked night last week. Like I think it was like Tuesday through Wednesday, or Wednesday night, worked from like 11 p.m. to like 6 a.m. So like then waking up on Friday at like 7 a.m. driving to Alabama. So I think my brain is still trying to recover from torturing it.
Yeah.
And then hanging out with everybody over the weekend. Played a ton of Cube on Saturday. Had a bunch of people over. That was really fun for our friend Anna's birthday. So drafted Sovereigns round. That was interesting. But anyway, also joined by Ethan, unofficial, as always. How are you doing, Ethan?
Hello. First time on the podcast. Excited to be here.
Mm-hmm. So
for those of you who don't know me, I am a Familiars main. I dabble in Mono Red Madness ever since that deck kind of burst out as it's hard to call it a combo deck, but it does feel like a combo deck. You've played it before, right?
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got to try out all the combo stuff, you know. I don't really know where I'm going from here.
No, you're good. You're good. We thought we'd just like have you on to like kind of just chat about like growing our like respective communities. So
yeah, absolutely.
Where are you based out of?
Yeah, so I'm from Seattle. We've been recently, as of about half a year ago, we started running our own Pauper events around here, like just local community run. Just a little on the timeline, like it started with just kind of like casual meetups at a store. Then a local game store near us like just opened up, and they started running. They had no regular weekly events going, and one of our local players showed up and was like, hey, can we start playing Pauper here on Fridays? And so we actually get Friday night Magic Pauper events, which is really lucky.
Go.
Yeah,
that's the dream.
That's the dream, right?
We get Thursday.
Yeah. Well, there's like, as we found out, there's several local game stores around the Seattle area because there is actually a demand for Pauper, and they all run these weekly Pauper events. And so we got a Discord going so we could go and like invite all the people from all these various stores to kind of start growing the format. One of the big things we did early on was I designed this a custom token. It was a treasure token at the time, back before Deadly Dispute got banned. Rest in peace.
Rip.
And we had like a QR code on it to like join the Discord server. And so I printed out like 500 of these, and we just started handing them out to people at the server, at the stores, gave them to like some of the employees at the stores, and was like, hey, at the Friday Night Magic events, you can give these to some of the players, and maybe you'll get more Pauper players in. Kind of a mutually beneficial. We get more eyes on the format, and they get more people coming to local events.
Game stores are pretty happy if you're like, hey, I want to grow a community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Store. I can't imagine them being like, no, get out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. When you can frame it as being like, hey, I want to grow the format so more people come here and spend money, they're like, oh yes, please, that's awesome. I want to volunteer my hours to make this happen. But yeah, now it's a couple years later, and we have like 350 people in the greater Seattle area, all the way from from Victoria, BC, Canada, all the way down to Portland, Oregon. So really
super sick.
we say greater Seattle area because most of the stores are around Seattle, but it's the whole Pacific Northwest, and that's where Pauper PNW comes from.
That's super, super cool.
So you got it all linked together. So is it like a league thing that like, does it all coalesce into one big tournament at the end of a season, or how does that work for y'all?
So originally it was just a way to connect the various people from the different local game stores around us, so that if, say, Mox Bellevue decided to host a big 1K style tournament, which we keep trying to push them into doing, and they kind of drag their feet on. That's neither here nor there. If there ever is a big Pauper event around us, it was a way to kind of shout it out and give people an opportunity to find like, oh, this store is closer to me, I'm going to go to their F&M kind of deal. Try to find a place to play. But then we were like, hey, there's not enough big Magic tournaments. Let's start running them ourselves. And so we needed a venue for hosting these events. There was the demand for it. Just going into the servers and asking like, hey, who would be interested in playing like a slightly higher stakes tournament? Like, we're not talking like crazy. Like, we started with like $15 entry, nothing big. But we found success going to like local breweries and saying, hey, can we come in on Sunday morning when you usually don't have customers anyways, run like a 5-hour Magic tournament. Everybody will be drinking and ordering food, and we'll run the show. We just need to have space for like, 30, 40 people. And that also seems to to be a good enough incentive for them, mutually beneficial. We get a space to play and they get business, and we don't have to pay anything to be there.
Can I bring 30 people into your business that will more than likely spend money?
Yeah, exactly. Like if it's a restaurant and they normally have like a lot of customers during the day on a weekend, then it can be a hard sell, and usually they want you to actually pay a reservation fee. But breweries were a fantastic choice. So we actually just started running these events out of the breweries, basically free of charge. And all the money that comes into the tournament, we can pay out in cash prize. So it's higher pricing limit as well. I forget what the question was.
No, I think you outlined it really well. Like, y'all have started from this sort of grassroots place of getting people together throughout all these different stores, just networking all the people together, getting everyone in one central place, like the Discord for y'all, and then working out from there of like, what do people want? What is something that's feasible we can do? And I think that the brewery option is a great option. We've seen success from this, not only because I'll let people know they can find the website in the show notes, and right now I'm looking at them as we're going through, and you have the February and March event with full details and locations available to register for now, and they are at
the whole prize structure as well.
Yes, and pricing as well. And so, for instance, the February showdown is at the Larrabee Lager Company, which is like one of these brewing companies. Our friends up in the upstate New York Pauper League have had success booking with breweries for their events as well. It does seem like just a really natural kind of fit. And I think that it's also, we're getting to a spot in like regular culture too, where I think like Magic is not just like a niche nerd thing, like due to the popularity of Commander and maybe some other casual formats. Like, a lot more people just like might have some random Magic cards or know more about Magic. So like the bartenders, like bartenders at a brewing company is like the right vibe for like the kind of, I think, people that you want to be working with too, or they can like see enough of the vision but are like we'll take care of this side, but like we see you, we understand you're just gonna be a bunch of cool nerds hanging out and having fun. Like I think that's a cool dynamic to work towards there. I like that a lot.
Absolutely. They at least two of these breweries that we've booked at before, when we reached out to them, they're like, oh, that sounds really fun. Actually, a couple of our employees are interested. Are they able to register as well? And so we just had like a couple like employees show up and play Pauper for the first time. And it's like, yeah, we'll have a deck ready for them. And
that's so cool.
It's exciting. Yeah. So after we started running like the first few events, just like kind of towards the tail end of last year, we were like, okay, this is feasible. We can start making this like a regular thing. And that's where we came up with the idea for the Cascadia Pauper Circuit, the CPC. I know that's very similar to your CGC, but
It's all right. Different part of the world. It's
Yeah.
not a ton of overlap in our player base. Turns out.
So we've got the Cascadia Pauper Circuit. We're going to have basically an event every month from February to November. There's going to be like 5 more casual, like it's like a 4-round F&M, $15 buy-in, easy, more casual, easy to get people into it and socialize, try out new decks, kind of that kind of thing. And then 4 of these, we're calling them qualifier events. They're basically half K events, $25 entry. It's competitive. Winner gets free entry into the championship at the end of the year. So whereas you guys do this Common Ground Cup that's like every, like 6 months or so?
Yep,
that
just like open invite.
Yeah, open invite, bigger event. We're having this big championship just at the end of the year. Still got to work out booking and venues and stuff, and I'm curious how you guys do that, because that might be some good insight for me. But we'll have the one big championship at the end of the year. Still open. It's not an invitational, even though we call the other ones qualifiers. But the qualifier get you free entry into it. That's our draw.
No, that's pretty cool too. And it's just like something slightly more competitive than F&M to play at if you're like to scratch that competitive itch.
Exactly.
The invitational, just like immediately, like that's just good wording to use too, just for like older heads that remember like the SCG events and stuff too. So you see invitational and that word kind of sparks something in their brain.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to get those old heads that want to reinvigorate their love for legacy events or whatever that they used to be able to be part of the Pro Tour circuit. But
so how often were y'all gonna host like the not the invitational events but the bigger ones? Are you guys gonna do that? Is that gonna be like a twice yearly thing, like once a quarter?
So far we just have a plan for just one this year. We just have the one big championship at the end of the year in November with the 4 qualifiers leading up to it. And we're also trying to spread these out because we're not just Seattle. So we have like 2 qualifiers, one on the north end of Seattle, one on the south end of Seattle, one 3 hours south in Portland, Oregon, and one actually Vancouver, Washington, technically, but right over the border. And then one like an hour and a half north of us up in Bellingham, almost to Canada. I don't know how well you guys know the local region of Washington, but
a little.
Not at all.
Yeah, but we're trying to spread it out, and we wanted to avoid incentive, like we didn't want to have it in a way that you like accumulate points to like get buys or entry and stuff into the championship, because we didn't want people to feel like they had to get out to multiple of these. I mean, obviously we want people to attend as many as possible because we want to play more Pauper with more people. But if we start, that feels like a bad train to go down. We don't want people to feel pressure to come to our tournaments and feel like they're missing out on something.
Yeah, no, I get that. You want them to come, but you don't want them to be like, oh, I missed this and I can't miss this kind of deal. I get you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think these are great benchmarks for a first full year of a circuit like this. This is something that I want to give you props for. This is pretty ambitious for it's you and you mentioned before we hitting record. It's mainly you and 2 other friends who are like the head people like organizing things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So at a certain point, we didn't even have there was no like sit down meeting. Okay, who's going to be in charge of running these tournaments? It was just me, a friend of mine. We call him in the Discord. His name is Icarus. He helps. I've known him and been playing Pauper with him for like the last 6-7 years or something like it's
nice.
Oh, it's been longer than I thought. 6-7 that's for the Gen Alpha out there. Gotta appeal to all parts.
I was yeeted into space.
There you go. So he and I have been playing Pauper forever, and he was obviously interested in helping run these events because he helped kickstart this community. And the other one is Thermochemist Sir Pippolis in our Discord. And yeah, it's just the 3 of us. We kind of rotate off helping actually run the event so the other ones can play. Because really at the end of the day, we're running these events because we want to play in these kind of events, right? So once we figured out exactly how to run these tournaments and we all got familiar with like the software that we're running it out of, we use AetherHub. Once we figured that out, it was really easy to just be like, okay, who's running this event, and then the other people will either just play and hang out, enjoy the festivities, or actually play in the event. Yeah, whatever.
So I guess you only go to your F&M, of course, you're not going to every single. Like, I guess you can't go to every single one across. But how many people do you get for about yours? Oh,
sorry, I keep talking over you.
No, that's the Discord way.
Yeah. At my local game store, Over the Brick Games in Kirkland, Washington, we get probably around 20 people, like, lowest like 16, highest.
Oh, yeah.
I think we've had closer to like 30 people at a couple
that's
of them.
sick.
But that's usually over the summer when it's like everyone has more free time,
No, that's really good for like F&M too.
Yeah, that's because it's Friday night. It's the Friday night spot. That's the enviable position, right?
It really
the other
is.
stores do pretty good too. Like I started playing Pauper when I moved down to Seattle proper. I started playing over down on Capitol Hill where they run similarly sized events, and they started doing like 4-round events, but I had to stop attending that one because it's on Monday nights, and waking up for work in the morning after a 4-round event is not great. But
yeah, we've been battling that. Thomas just mentioned in like our personal like Nashville Discord. He's like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna talk to the store owner, see if we can like keep it to 3 rounds a week. Like, do something there, or like change the prize payout to maybe per win, or like do something, because man, the 4-rounders are pretty rough, and it's like sometimes it'll go to like 11 p.m. and it's like, damn,
you got to fight with people like, hey, can we start 30 minutes earlier? And some people are like, well, I just wouldn't be able to make it if we do that.
Right.
We tried that, and that was my problem too. I'm like, hey, 6:30 might be pushing it for me too.
Yeah.
Just because like the 7 o'clock is a nice. I know it's later on a weekday, but it works because Nashville is a weird city where a game store does not exist in Nashville itself. They all exist either east, west, north, or south of Nashville. So everything, no matter what you look up, wherever you want to go somewhere in Nashville, you look it up, it's 20 to 30 minutes away, no matter where you are. I don't know how it does that. But
it's true.
Like, unless like you're going like far out, like to Columbia or something like that, or you try to go to Franklin after work and then you're fighting traffic. Nashville's a very bizarre city in that way.
Yeah, I'd love to come out for not just to play in a big Pauper tournament, but I hear you guys got some good food out there. When you guys were just you guys spent like the last like 15-20 minutes of an episode just talking about all the good food spots near your place, and I'm like, man, that's been the biggest draw so far. I want to get out there.
The food here is great. Here. Like, moving from a small town, that was like the biggest eye opener. Moving here is like, oh man, the food is delicious here. And I don't know how much, I'm going to shout them out again, but the Princes of Pauper podcast, Mike Flores and Richie, I can't remember their last name, but Busey, Richie Hohen is, I think, a different Magic player.
Okay.
I might have said Richie or Hohen in the past, but I think it's Richie Busey.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Then I was like, maybe that's just Discord. No, never mind.
Nope, that's my fault.
Okay.
But those two are playing in their New York league, and just hear them talk about how, I mean, of course you're in New York, so you have New York City, but their New York league just sounds insane. Somebody made like a software that keeps track of, I think it's like 3 or 4 different stores, a part of their league, and it feeds into this championship at the end of it. And somebody made a software that has everybody's win rates with what deck they played, like their all-time win rates.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like they did ELO, and I'm like, that is insane. We need somebody like that.
Yeah, we got to look into that. We've been thinking about trying to find some way to incorporate the like local game stores to try to encourage people to go to these. The best we found, so another cool feature of our little community is that we all have custom made jerseys. So like anyone that plays Pauper around us can get a jersey. They just come talk to Pip, and they'll just order a jersey with your name on the back, and it says like Pauper PNW on it. Yes, it's very awesome. And we were thinking the best way, without like, because it would be impossible. There's like 11 different local game stores around here that all run Pauper events. It would be impossible for us to actually track all the players at all those and all the win rates and what have you.
No, there's someone that's got to be able to do it. Like just an employee at the store, just like text whoever's in charge of it. It's definitely a love project. Whoever's doing that in New York is insane.
Yeah, it would certainly be possible. We're thinking of just having like some kind of bounty system and like spreading the word like, hey, if you play against someone wearing a jersey and you win a round, come talk to so and so and we'll get you hooked up with like a booster pack, or I don't know. We're thinking about implementing something.
But
like
what happens in a year when like everybody's wearing a jersey? We're just
yeah,
your booster pack deprived.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem to cross when you get there, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a cool little incentive too. Well, I heard you mentioned making tokens, and that's something I think we on the Common Ground side has definitely lacked on. Everybody that runs an event, I've seen like custom made tokens and stuff, and I don't know why I always thought, I'm like, I don't know how expensive that is. So when you just like made your tokens, who did the art, and like what you mentioned you printed it yourself? Did you just go to like a Staples? Did you use cardstock and a printer at home? What did you do?
Yeah, so we've tried to experiment with a lot of different ways of just like trying to get the word out there. Like that's why we started with the Discord server. It's like that's the easiest way. Almost everyone that plays Magic has a Discord account. Super easy to get that in there. Mm-hmm. And then the tokens was like the first idea. It's like, hey, this would be easy to hand out to everyone. We could even try to crowdfund it, get people to be like, hey, if you chip in $5, we'll give you like 10, 15 tokens or whatever. So what we did, I dabble in digital art. I'm not a professional or anything, but I like to draw Pokemon in my free time. It's just fun. And so I just designed the tokens myself, free, save some money there.
Yeah.
Went to, there's multiple different websites that you can upload your prints to and order them to be printed like real Magic cards, basically.
And like whatever size you want, kind of like make playing cards, I think is one of them.
Yeah, make playing cards. That is the one that we use. There's also more local ones that tend to charge less because make playing cards is overseas and they have to ship it and it takes a while. But there's other options out there. We definitely need to look into different things. But make playing cards has been pretty consistent for us. Yeah, we started with the treasure token. Then the treasure, the main treasure maker in the format got banned. So
it's funny you say that. I laughed when you said that because all my Pauper deck boxes, like I'll look at Spy or not Spy, but Jund or Fog, and I still have a treasure token in the deck box, and I'm through the list. Nothing makes a treasure. Or, Fog, that's not true, but and Jund, that's true.
Yeah, so we ordered like 600 of those tokens. It cost I think like $150, $180 or something like that. And then once we started running low on that supply, because we'd give out one to basically every time a new player would show up to our store, we'd give them one, and we would leave some at the different local game stores, and we just had them flying out the window. The 500 we went through pretty fast. And the next one to make, obviously, was a map token to replace the treasure tokens because everybody's playing Fanatical Offering.
Of course.
And I actually had a great idea for that one. We put a map of Washington with all the different local game stores marked on the map and their names next to them where you could play Pauper. So
writes down idea real quick.
Yeah, no, steal it, please. It was fantastic. So we give out all those tokens. That's one way we kind of get the awareness out there. The jerseys are just a fun thing because now whenever we go to like a bigger event, like say we head out to Portland for SCG Con or what have you,
or Common Ground Cup. If y'all fly
or Common Ground Cup,
yeah.
Whenever we go to those events, everybody wears their jerseys, and it's like, hey, what's with the jerseys? And it's like, oh, hey, I'm glad you asked.
No, you're repping the game store. That's a real thing. I get you. I guess more than the game store too. The game stores,
exactly,
the
whole thing.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty fun. One of the things I'm really excited for with these upcoming like qualifier events. We've got it's a half K, so we're giving out the $500 in prizes. In addition to, we also have talked to a local artist, and we have commissioned them to make. Basically, they're gonna look like secret layer versions of cards. They're unique. They are original to us. We are not encroaching on any copyrights or anything. They're basically proxies, essentially. But they're gonna look like playable Magic cards, and since we are independent of any local game store, we're running these events ourselves, you can play with these cards at our events. So it's kind of like we're giving out basically like stores championship promos is essentially what they're like for each event to the top 8.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Are you guys like proxy friendly and all that too then, since it's like run
we are
independently?
absolutely
That's
proxy
dope.
friendly. We have like the normal restrictions of like you got to be able to identify this card as being this card, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard. Have you looked at like pre-ordering lately? How many?
It's just try to make it like, you know, as presentable as possible. Make
Be
sure the
reasonable.
thickness of the sleeve is good. Like we still want to follow the comp REL rules and everything. Those double-sided tokens from like Innistrad or what have you, super easy to just write Black Lotus on the top of that or whatever I should use a Pauper card. Lotus petals.
I like
I've seen a lot of Lotus petal in this format recently, speaking of.
Yeah.
I mean, Spy coming up with that, definitely. That's huge.
I guess Spy is doing that sometimes.
Just like the 2 of in that version sometimes plays it. Talking about our scene a little bit too, there's been talks in the works of, so the game store we do the Common Ground Cup with is Game Night Tennessee, and Just Roll With It Games is just 20 minutes north, so closer to Nashville in Franklin, Tennessee. And
You're
they
in
do
Spring
a
Hill.
Pauper F&M. Spring Hill, excuse me, that's a little bit more south than Franklin. Still slightly, barely.
Just
slightly
north
closer.
of Columbia.
Yeah, barely closer to Nashville. But they've been doing Pauper F&Ms there, and I think Game Night hosts their Pauper weekly on Tuesday. I'm not quite sure, but I can never make it down for there because it's like an hour drive. Maybe not an hour 10 with traffic. So they've done for Riftbound, combining their leagues and doing like an invitational championship for that game, and I think they've had success with like the first round of that, and I've been talking about doing the same for Pauper, and I've talked to the owner of Game Night like, hey, you should loop our game store, like I'm a part of it, you should loop our locals in Middle Tennessee gaming, because that's west of Nashville, into this. So let's get all 3 of our leagues combined into one thing that leads into something, because we got a good chunk of people that come out there. Like, kind of similar to yours, it's like we can get 12 on a low night and we can get 28 on a high night. I don't know if we've ever broken that, but that'd be really nice to get that to coincide into one big tournament and just like keep standings from all 3 of those.
Yeah, that would be pretty
Complete
sick.
Side note here on the mention of Riftbound, that has been picking up a lot of popularity, especially, you know, as we talk about Pauper being a way for people to play like the older formats where there's kind of a hole in the competitive scene. But Riftbound and Flesh and Blood have been popping up, and I've even heard a note of basically a Pauper equivalent in Flesh and Blood recently to maybe keep an eye out for if you're a Flesh and Blood fan.
I
think they
also
called
heard
it
that.
Silver Age. I think they call it Silver Age.
Oh, that's kind of cool. That's funny.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. I know nothing about these formats, but good to see.
Yeah, no, me neither. Or those
more
TCGs.
Card games, you know.
Kind of a rising, what's the word? What's the phrase? I think I butchered this one other time. Rising tide raises all ships. There we go. I like that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you crushed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we definitely have a lot of potential in our area for sure. I think Cameron like outlined just like 3 stores that are definitely between. I mean, Game Night also has some like locals level Pauper events like weeklies and stuff like that. Occasionally they'll try to do their own like half K or 1K here and there. But for the most part, it's the cup that we do with them that's like the marquee event, like the big event every twice a year at this point.
At least for Pauper, I know
for
they
Pauper.
do.
Yeah, they
pretty
do
well
they
for,
do
like,
other
their
stuff. They do a lot of
events.
big other stuff.
Their
for
RCQs
sure.
and CDH events do very well too.
Yes. But I mean, in terms of specifically Pauper, and then Just Roll With It. We could loop Middle Tennessee Games. There's a number of other stores we could loop in as well. And I think it's just a matter of like just trying to figure out what our players' incentives would be, and 2,
money.
Sure, but then that also requires a whole bunch of other infrastructure, I imagine, to try and make that feasible and sustainable. But then,
and I'm sure that's something
of,
with like entry fees go into that. Like if you're paying 10, whatever, they got to all streamline it. If you're paying $10 for entry fee, like $8 or $7 goes into the actual event, and the other $3 or $2 goes into this league championship. And if you have 4 stores doing that every week, that can coalesce into something at the like maybe quarterly or biannually.
Yeah. Like Luke from the Piedmont Pauper League in Greensboro, North Carolina, like they're setting aside some of their prizing through their 6 monthly events for the first half of this year to send someone to the 4th Common Ground Cup, which is super sick. And like that's something that they're doing, that they're allocating, that they make sure that they have the prizes for. So like it's very possible. Like I don't know if there are any details along those lines that you could share, Ethan, of how you guys are structuring it without pulling the curtain too far back and just like and we get too in the nitty gritty of numbers and stuff. But I wonder, like, is that something y'all are thinking about when deciding entry fee and pricing and all that, just to make sure that there is a little bit for the league to kind of run? Or is it just kind of like in the early stages of we're going to support this ourselves because it's a labor of love, and then if it grows to sustain itself, great? Or are you guys thinking about sustainability like already at this point?
Yeah, so our goal is net zero. Like at the end of the year, if we end up, we need to prize our tournaments in a way that it can at least be not profitable, but like we're coming out at the bare minimum at zero. And preferably,
you and your friends aren't losing money.
Yeah, exactly. So me and our friends aren't losing money, which I think we actually have in the early parts. But it's also, it's our hobby. This is what we're doing for fun.
Yeah.
So it's not the end of the world. But by the time we're hoping that by the time the championship comes around, if we're like, hey, we've actually accumulated, a few extra $100 just laying around, that we put that into prizes or like the last event that we ran, we were like, hey, we made like $40 more from this tournament than we're walking away with. Do we want to go down to Costco and grab some pizzas and everybody can have lunch while we're here? And that was like a fun thing that we could do, because the store we were at, the brewery we were at, didn't serve food. But our goal is to be net zero by the end of the year. If we start getting more money, we just put it more out there. And the fact that we haven't had to pay for venues yet means that basically all the money that goes in can go straight out into prizes. So like we can afford to have our half K be $25 entry, and as long as we get just like the 24 players, we're paying out $500 to the top 8 players, and also be able to pay for the promos that we're going to print out and the free entry into the championship, and maybe even provide food for the events. And so like the
maybe
way
have
that
a judge.
Exactly, have a judge.
Bigger.
Sir Pippolis, the guy who's helping run these events, he is a certified judge. So
perfect.
Yeah,
so you're just losing time, not money.
Yeah, so he's just doing it out of again, just like as a hobby.
Yep, lots of precious time.
Yeah, we get to run these events at basically maximum efficiency. We're not paying for a venue. We're just putting all the money back into it. We don't have to pay for a brick and mortar store. It's a really efficient system, actually, and that's kind of why it's been working for us, is because we can say, hey, $15 to come to our F&M style event. If you happen to go 4-0, you get $50. I mean, that's a lot better than you're going to get at your F&M. Like,
no, that's sick for F&M too, especially with people used to draft for F&M, and with how expensive packs have gotten, especially if it's a UB set. I mean, man, you're looking at like pre-releases are $50 now. Yeah,
and like the pre-release at my store, it's $30 with 0 prize support.
Yeah,
and like that's just what it has to be priced at, and I kind of like it with the 0 prize support because
it's pre-release.
Yeah, it's pre-release, right? Mm-hmm. What are the stakes here? We're playing sealed, but
a pack.
Oh man, yeah, exactly. I miss the Swiss rounds based on attendance pre-releases at midnight with a box on the line. Though, God,
I do too.
Part of me does miss that vibe.
I do too.
Yeah. There was one time I did a full weekend of sealed pre-releases where they did a midnight event, 6 a.m. event, noon event, and a 6 p.m. event.
Wow.
Yep. So they
every 6 hours.
Wow. And then the next day started again at noon and 6 p.m. And
Psychopaths.
Yeah, it was crazy. I'm never doing that again, but it was fun.
I thought I was crazy for doing... I miss the F&M, like, Friday, off topic, but F&M into pre-release. God, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I just remember getting to store early on Friday because I worked nights already at this point, so my schedule was already weird. And I remember getting to the store early before F&M, maybe around like 4 p.m., and hung out with some people, played some pickup games of Commander probably back then, played F&M, played some more Commander. I think we had like the Mythic Championship on in the background or whatever it was at the time. That was pretty fun. And then midnight pre-release, and left the LGS at like 5 a.m. by the time it was done, and just hanging out with people. The owner would just close whenever people were done hanging out and playing.
Yeah, I'm. That's kind of what these bigger events running, like I'm sure like the Common Ground Cup, it kind of calls back to that a little bit, that desire to just spend a day with like-minded people playing this format that we love, you know?
Yeah.
Like, even if we're not going till 2 a.m., you know?
Yeah.
We've gotten close.
We
got close the second one. We got close the second one.
But it was like 11 something, but
That's pretty close.
Just to pull back the curtains on our side a little bit, because you're talking about running at cost. I mean, we're pretty similar. We were fortunate enough where game night in Columbia is a like fairly big LGS already. Like space wise, they can sit a lot of butts comfortably, and I mean we capped it at 88. So they could sit a lot of 80 butts comfortably. I would say after that you're starting to squeeze and it might smell a little bit too much.
A lot of butts.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a lot of butts. But we're fortunate enough where they already had like this established CDH scene and hosted some larger CDH events, and they've done kind of, I don't want to say makeshift coverage, but makeshift coverage for it. And they've had some people like commentating for that. And we just kind of approached Steven because we know like Steven was an old player back of a day. Hippo knew him pretty well from playing against him. And our friend Austin judges like all their events, and playing RCQs, we knew Steven. So we're like, hey, dude, could we just basically host a tournament and do coverage for it? And he's like, yeah, sure, I don't care, basically. And so the first one did all right, and then the second one did really well, and then the third one did really, really well. So we were just fortunate enough that game night kind of had that set up, and really had Kyle, too. Director Kyle, as we refer to him, is just like the GOAT with the streaming setup and OBS setup and like making custom software for everything to run smoothly. Like between
that was insane.
Kyle and Thomas, you making all the graphics too. It really like helped bump it up from like makeshift stream to, oh, this actually looks professional adjacent if the casters would get together.
You guys were fine.
That's one thing that we haven't broken into yet, is like the whole streaming part of it. We've had ideas of how to do that, but the fact that we're like so mobile, you know, we're not at one centralized location, makes it a little bit difficult to get that set up.
Very.
And the few times that we actually have tried streaming, we have found that the demand for it was not very high, but it's really awesome that you guys actually like have interest in that. That's good to see.
Yeah, it definitely has to come from a place of interest first. If you're not already like set up for it, because if people aren't clamoring for it, like we just kind of did it mostly because like we were like, why not also just stream it? Because like they kind of had some amount of the setup already at game night, and like I was telling you before we started streaming, like I have a bunch of experience in that world, both professionally and casually, and so it just kind of all fell together in a really perfect kind of just a perfect kind of serendipitous moment of like, oh yeah, we can just do it all and just keep working it, making it better every time we do it. It is a little bit of a lot of literal duct tape and some like, pins and bed sheets and whatever, but to make it happen sometimes, but we make it happen. And I think that
is definitely a labor of love too.
Yeah.
Out of that, it's
we're not getting paid to do. We're not getting paid to run the cup. We're like that money goes right back to the players.
Yeah, because I feel comfortable saying this because you could just do the math yourself if you're listening. It's $30 entry fee. There is 80 people. It's a 2K. 80 times 30 is $2,400. Okay, they made $400. The store has 80 people in it, so they're paying 6 employees to be there. they're paying 2 judges to be there. So like they're not making money from the event themselves. The money maker from them is getting 80 butts in the store, and hopefully people are buying some drinks, some snacks, some singles while they're there.
Yeah. No, people were making purchases. I made that note in the player meeting beforehand of like, spend some money here, like, all they're putting the entry right back into the prizes. So while you're here, like, buy some cardboard, buy some sleeves, buy some snacks.
That game store is just known for being the people's LGS in that way. I think when we did the second Common Ground Cup, was it a 2K as well, where it was like short?
Yep. Yeah.
Maybe
we were a little short, and Steven was still like, it's still a 2K, and we were like, whoa, okay, cool.
It was like $400 short, and so the store just like putting $400 into prizing out of nothing is pretty big.
Yeah.
Like you don't mess around for that. So I guess for like people listening who like want to do like a tournament circuit of their own, I don't know, just find a killer LGS. That it's hard to give advice because we just got so lucky and like kind of had this set up already for us in a weird way. I mean, credit to where credit's due of us like spreading the word and like using like platform to like get people out here and come to this thing and make it what it is. And like shout out to like just people coming from Chicago to play in it, from South Dakota, from St. Louis, Alabama, Kentucky. You just get a small shout out because you're pretty close, but still, thank you.
It's been really, really sick. Ethan, do you have like some greater goals for the circuit in terms of like attendance goals? Like, are you just hoping to just, it's still kind of like a testing grounds for this whole first year, or do you have some kind of hopes and dreams for like, for example, how many players you'd love to see like at the actual championship at the end of the year, like kind of build up all this hype towards it? Like what are you guys kind of working with in terms of just expectations from your community, and are you preparing like one way or the other?
Yeah. I mean, with how we're currently running it, we're sort of restricted by the capacity of the venues that we're participating at.
That's a good point.
So which is to say that we've sold out basically every event that we've had so far. Some of them cutting close, like, we sell out like really last minute. You know how Magic players are.
Magic players are that way, yeah.
But we've been selling out like most of these events when we're capping at like 25, 30. But this next year we're looking for these bigger events because like we have like our first qualifier coming up in like the North Seattle area, and we're like, well, we need a 24 player minimum to even make this financially viable.
Right.
Plus, this is like our first big one that's going to lead into the championship. We want to have as big as a capacity as we could, and the best we could find around us was like we got a 35 player cap, and so I'm hoping that we hit that, and then if we can hit that 35 player cap, then it's like, well, then we're easily going to get at least that many people for the championship, because that's going to be just as important, if not bigger. It'll have more of a draw. And the championship's in November. This one is the one that's the first qualifier is in March. Mm-hmm. So if we can hit 35 players by now, I have no idea what we can expect for the championship.
Sure.
I'm hoping we can get as big as one of the cups. Card Kingdom, the company, has a brick and mortar store. A lot of people don't know about that, but it's called Mox Boarding House.
Yeah, I've been to the Seattle location. House.
Yeah. There's one in Seattle and one in Bellevue, which is like East Seattle. Mm-hmm. But they have run Pauper events and have hit like 60 people for these. Ooh. But they've been what they call these rags to riches style events. So you enter with like $25 and you qualify for like, you get to pick out like singles from like different tiers. So like if you go like undefeated, you get access to like $60 worth of singles basically, or whatever. But you like pick them out and they get to offload some product that they haven't been able to get rid of.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool idea. But people really want to play in competitive events with real stakes and payout and stuff. And we keep trying to say, hey, you get 60 people for this event. Why not run a 1K? That'll get the legacy players interested, and that'll get like modern players interested. Mm-hmm. And
have you like shown them shown them your work in a weird way, I guess, like showing your work where it's like, hey, look, we've like capped these events and we have so much interest in this. Can we use your space? Can we like, do you want to be a part of branding this? Because like, damn, what a powerful backing to have if you have their backing on that, honestly.
The fact that they're like the biggest game store in Seattle means their schedule is pretty tight, so we would have to work pretty far in advance. But yeah, maybe just offering to them, hey, we can even run the back end and do the promoting and stuff if you just like put it on your calendar. That might do it, but it's
please
just crazy
let us use your space. Yeah,
but they have the evidence themselves that it has the draw. They get 60 players for these, and I think that if we are able to book out a venue for the championship at the end of the year and promote it effectively, I think we can do better than the 60, because 60 is just how many they're limited to in their room. I think 80 players would. I think if they had room for 80 players, they could do 80 players. I mean, this is Seattle we're talking about. It's populous out here. Populous, Pauper?
Yeah.
Anyways.
They're popping off in multiple ways.
And I guess for like looking at venues in the future, like bigger ones, I remember, oh God, what was this event? It was GP New Brunswick in New Jersey, or some GP in Jersey, where they hosted a high school gymnasium, which is far from luxurious, but hell, it sits a lot of people, you know.
That's a great idea, actually. I mean, okay, so for what it's worth, putting this information out there, I am a high school teacher. That is my job.
Oh, there you go.
Yo, I was gonna say, I don't know how you get a connection with that, but
I have no idea. Dude. How would you do that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, it's kind of a great idea. I would feel a little bit nervous asking administration, like, hey, can I bring a bunch of strangers into the building? But I've heard worse ideas.
I mean, it's on a weekend, too, you know?
Yeah, on a weekend. Yeah, I don't know.
You just got to make sure there's not like a basketball game or it's not basketball season or something going on in there. That's hilarious.
But no, that's kind of a great idea, actually. I'll have to keep that in my back pocket. I've been also recommended like neighborhood community centers, but I don't know, if you're allowed to charge money at some of these places. Like even, I don't know, even libraries usually have like a common room that maybe you could book out for the day. But there's room for these things.
I'm sure just like a local community center, I'm sure you could figure out some sort of deal where they might even have like a small rental fee or something for a community member to rent the space, and then if you do that, you can probably charge whatever you need to, or at least work that out with them. But I love this. Just like this is such an important thing when acting as an event organizer, is to really get scrappy and think outside the box out of any connection that you might have, because it really, like, the good events happening, it's not so much just the venue or just like what the activity or tournament or whatever is, or even like the how organized the organizers were or anything like that. A lot of it just comes down to the good connections. Like Cameron and James and I will say over and over again, and already have today, of just like having that good connection with game night is what has made the Common Ground Cup possible in the first place. Like one of our local Magic friends is the general manager of the hotel that we have the hotel block with for people coming in out of town to stay at a hotel for a much cheaper rate for the weekend of the cup. And we wouldn't have that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and we wouldn't have that if we weren't friends with Joe. Like there's all of these. You get scrappy and you're like, oh, how can I think about this person or reach out to this person, or what do we need? How can we do things? And you just start to work through your Rolodex of like, oh, I know this person who maybe could put me in contact with this person. Maybe this person's skill set could be useful here. Like it just kind of all cascades in and upon itself. And it's going to be a little different for everyone and everyone's needs. But I think it's a really cool way that, that making something bigger than yourself just naturally is going to bring other people into the fold. And it just becomes like a whole big extended community thing. And I really like that part of it, of like seeing how many people it really takes to make this thing happen.
Yeah. So to tie this back into the listener a little bit, like if you're in an area where you've been listening to this podcast, you want to play Pauper, you want to get your friends into Pauper, but it's like, hey, my local game store isn't running these events or anything. This is how you get it done. You just make these connections with the people around you, build some Pauper decks. I mean, they're pretty cheap to do. Dig around the chaff box at your local game store. Just start sitting down playing Pauper with people. Try to make awareness, because the demand is there. We all know that people want to play this format. People want to play in higher stakes events. It's about getting the awareness out there to enough people to actually make it happen. But the momentum is there. Like, once you start building it, you just got to put yourself out there. Yes, you will become the Pauper guy in your area and embrace that.
Yes.
You're that guy that comes to the pre-releases and starts asking.
Are you one of those podcast
comments
guys?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we get now.
Yeah, oh, really?
Yeah.
Had someone say it to me as like
as a derogatory term. Yeah. God, yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, I guess.
But the demand is there. We just have to kind of ask around and make it happen.
Yeah.
Find spaces for it to make it work. But you can totally make this happen, and people will show up once they see that you're invested in it.
Build it and they will come.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a lot of who you know too, as Thomas has mentioned. Like knowing someone in the hotel business and like that could be a potential space too, but like Gabe Knight's been working very well for us that way. But that's cool. We have like that block set up with him. If you know someone like in your local church community, like a church is also a big open space that you could put a bunch of tables and throw a bunch of nerds in to make a battle out. Like thinking more like new school church, not like a Catholic church with all the ginormous pews and stuff. But
sure.
That might be a little bit harder to do in that community. But like same thing, like usually like churches have a big space or like a big banquet hall or something like that too.
Yeah. And you don't have to start out like knowing all these connections or exactly where to go. Just start with the connection at your local game store. Talk to the employee that's running the events and get to know them, and make sure that you actually have that foundation to actually start talking about, hey, what if we hosted like special weekend events? Like we at our store, standard isn't a very popular thing, but the store championship promos that they give out are for standard events. But eventually we're like, hey, since you can't get rid of these promos, what if you did them for a Pauper tournament? And because we had that foundation with the employee that runs our events, he was able to talk to the owner and be like, hey, yeah, we can schedule one of these. Do you think there'd be enough players for it? And absolutely, let's show up. And so now we get the store championship promos for our Pauper events, and it's super cool. Yeah.
And that is like, for people interested in starting Pauper, like a Pauper F&M or a Pauper night at their store or whatever, that is square one, is bug the shit out of your game store employees or game store owner. That's the best place to start. And a lot of times they might be skeptical too. Like, oh, are people going to show up to it and blah, 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 blah. And really, if you could just rally, it's hard. I get it. Because like coming from a smaller town where the only Magic that was semi-popular, and by semi-popular, I mean like 8 to 10 people on a Saturday playing Commander is like about like the cap of how many people we'd have. Like it's hard to start a Pauper scene in that. So
yeah, absolutely.
You gotta have some fortitude. Like it's not, trying to
or move to a bigger city.
Yeah, or that. That's what I did. That can help.
Worked pretty well for me so far.
There you go.
What actually got us started, like right at the beginning when I first got into Pauper, was the fact that I was a broke college student, and I lived in a college town full of broke college students, and pitching Pauper was a really easy sell. Hey, come out after classes on Wednesday nights, and we'll just start meeting up and playing Pauper. And when the store employees see that people are meeting up for this event, then they take notice and they're like, hey, we can profit off these guys. They're actually showing up. Let's run.
Yeah, that could be happening at your store instead.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, and that's another good thing to promote too as well. Depending on your age bracket, but just like if you have like buddies in college or whatever, like having a college Magic club can be huge for promoting Pauper or promoting like your F&Ms or whatever.
I had a Magic club in college.
Yeah. Yep. Same here. I went to one, and it was kind of like, man, I can't believe that we have like a big game store like 20 minutes away, and we don't do like anything with them. So, because we were like 30 minutes from KC.
I've got a question for you two.
Yeah.
Obviously, the biggest, most popular format right now in Magic is Commander. How
Correct.
do you think we can get the Commander players interested in Pauper?
It's kind of hard.
If you don't have a good answer for this, we can just cut this from the podcast. But
No, it's a good question.
No.
Because it is definitely like the biggest sort of block of Magic players to potentially recruit from, to like indoctrinate into the Pauper format, make it sound like a cult. It's kind of a cult. I mean it's one of those classic situations of you're going to attract more flies with honey than with, whatever else the rest of that sentence is. You want to make sure you're being a positive representation of the format. Not, I think that non-Commander players, we can kind of get into a bad habit of ridiculing the Commander players or Commander as a format, just kind of as a joke. Which in some cases I think is warranted, because there is some ridiculous stuff that does go on in that format. But it is also the most widely well-known way to play Magic now, just in culture in general. And so I think it's important to be cognizant of that when you approach Commander players. I think it's really just, it can come down to the approach, because not all Commander players are going to be interested in even playing 60 card 1v1. Like, like net decking is still, like, for some people sounds like a weird, as much as, they all have EDH rec and all that stuff now too. But
it's
like,
a sin.
Yeah, right. There's kind of this like mentality around it for some people still, and that's totally fine. I think if the stars align, I still think that Pauper is one of the best, if not the best, constructed formats to teach Commander players how to play 1v1, just because it's pretty, like, the cards are simple, but the interaction and gameplay is really, really complicated and strategically rewarding. And so I think that it's a good intro to playing Magic in the classic way. But it's tough. I don't know if that was really much of an answer. More so it's just like kind of the approaches that I would take with it. But I don't know. Cameron, you said you had something?
Yeah, kind of building off what you said too a little bit, is one of the like most popular ways like to play Magic is like casually. Like the most popular format of Magic is probably people playing within their own play group, and they might not even be playing Commander. They just might be shuffling up cards they own and they like. Probably Commander, like, casually might have outpaced that by now, with just like how popular that format has become and has reached like the casual audience there. I think a lot of people that play Commander casually, I've met a lot of people. I know Austin's brother-in-law, and like, they play like, okay, we have some pre-cons. I think they have a couple custom-made decks, and they'll open like Magic product, and that's how like they'll incorporate that into their decks. And I feel that's starting to become more of a casual EDH thing. And the people that play Magic like that, they view Commander more as like a board game with like their friends or family to like pass time.
Right.
And it's more of like a social game you're playing together rather than like everybody gets to do their thing and like have fun. I was listening again, Princess of Pauper, they were talking about that, and like the Commander sense, you're used to like people who everybody gets to do their thing and then somebody eventually wins, and that's just not what 1v1 or Pauper is. But it could be hard when someone views Magic, and that's nothing wrong too, it's a game first and foremost, but like someone who does like view it more as a board game, it's like such a dramatic shift from that into like 1v1 quote unquote competitive, even if you're not like super competitive. But the best way you can do that is just playing Pauper, or I've heard this talked about recruiting people in the queue, but just like playing Pauper at an LGS in a public space, so Commander players can like walk by like when they get knocked out of their pod and they're like, okay, I'm gonna get up and go grab a drink and like walk around. Oh, what are you guys playing? Oh, that card's really cool. What's going on over here? And then you just like talk to that person and try to, as Thomas said, indoctrinate them into the cult of Pauper.
Yeah, I could not count the number of times that I'm sitting there playing Pauper with some people, and someone at like a local game store, and someone will come up and say like, "Hey, are you guys looking for a third commander?" And I'll say, "No, actually, we're playing Pauper. Do you want to try?" And usually they're not that interested in trying Pauper all of a sudden. But I feel like if maybe you're a commander player and you want to start getting some of your buddies into Pauper, show up with a few decks, especially like aggro decks, super easy to pick up. Like if you have like an Elves and a Burn and a Mono Blue Terror or what have you, weenies. If you just have a few decks and you say, hey, while we're waiting for a third player, do you want to try a game of Pauper real quick?
Yeah.
That's probably a really easy way to be like, maybe try to get them to feel that itch a little bit, like, oh wait, this is interesting. I don't have to deal with politics.
Let them win.
Yeah.
Like don't body them, otherwise they're like, that was stupid. So I'm gonna grab my last land, Saga Wildling. I'm gonna float 16 mana here. Winding Way. Okay, here I'll reveal Balashred Spy, play Spy, dump my library. Flashback Dread Return. You're at 20. I'll deal 38 to you, and they're never gonna play another game of Pauper again.
Don't play Spy against them. Even Dredge is a bit of a stretch.
And don't hand them Thams.
I've had to take some advice from you guys about trying to get new players in Magic, because I still have friends of mine that I'm trying to teach about you're gonna say never a lot, but never means never. Just trying to keep the interaction simple. Like if the commander player screws up a rule while they're playing against you that gives them some kind of advantage, just let it happen. Just say okay, cool, yeah. Like,
and I did like retreading some old territory. I really do appreciate what our friend Brute said one time was let them play the game with the amount of help they want, and like it's way better if they find the cool interaction themselves. Like, if they're playing Elves, don't be like, you can do this and this, and you can make 16 mana. Isn't that super cool if you do this and this? And just be like, let them be like, oh, wait. Swing with this, pump it with Timberwatch Elf, activate Quirion Ranger. Holy, this is awesome. Like, letting them have that aha moment is huge themselves. Exactly. Like, maybe hints at, like, anything before damage, if they're not doing it, Maybe you could try to nudge it out of them that way, but you really do have to let. I say it like commander players, like it's just. I say it like a derogatory term. I don't mean to. Like, don't bleep that in editing, Thomas. When I say commander players,
no, you're good.
Like I feel like you have to let your players like have the interest on their own. Like you have to let them like come to you. You can't just. Nobody likes anything if you shove it in their face, and that's You could take that in a lot of aspects in life too. If you're trying to put anything on anybody, don't shove it in their face.
That's kind of why I am so into Pauper, is like I got to get that competitive itch, but you also get to brew. You get the social part is such a huge part of it. Like just showing up to the Pauper event, everybody kind of knows each other, and it can be, I'm sure that's intimidating to get into for some people, but once you get in there and realize, oh, this is kind of just a social club where we happen to be playing Magic. That's kind of how it is for us, at least. I don't know how it is for you guys, but
that's how it started when I walked into Middle Tennessee Gaming with Hippo the first time. Hippo was the only person I knew at that time. Or like when we walked in there together, like we heard about it, I didn't know anybody else playing there, and now like freaking Brute's a friend of mine, like Jonathan, like we're tight. Like I would just call him my friend, and then like Tyler, Blue Hair Mage is super sick, AJ super sick. Like just like the little community you met, it's just like, wow, these people are awesome.
Yeah, and when a new player comes to your store and is looking around confused, look over to them, say, hey, are you here for Pauper? Or do you have a deck? Do you want to jam a couple games before the event starts?
Definitely.
Giving them your name, handing out the tokens that you've printed out 500 of, the usual.
Just we do jerseys. Do you
want to buy a jersey, please?
Do you want to buy it? That's hilarious.
That is actually something that we do. We don't like sit there and shout out the jerseys, but really casually bringing up like, hey, are you going to the Bellingham event next week? Like, just kind of like casually throwing it out there, just to bring out the awareness.
I was probably annoying before the cup. I was bugging a lot of people. I'm like, am I going to see you in 2 weeks? You coming in 2 weeks? I was like, yeah. I'm like, all right, better sign up.
Yeah, what are you playing for that event?
Yeah, you can tell me. I'm casting. Yeah, I'm casting. Come
I
on.
can be trusted with this information.
Yeah. Do you need cyborg? You need cards? I can get you cards. Like, I was just bugging the crap out of everybody. And that's another way of like growing the community is just I'm bugging the crap out of everybody and trying to be overly friendly. I mean, don't be fake, but
but you got to put yourself out there a little bit.
It is a good amount of being a people person. Like it is a certain sort of outgoing, little bit of an extroverted vibe. Not that it's just for extroverts by any means, but that is definitely a part of it. That if you're someone who is a little bit more introverted, definitely something that you're going to need to calculate for your energy levels.
And it's good to, I mean, believe it or not, from the perception of who you think I may be or not by listening to me, I considered myself more introverted in doing like the podcast and like casting and meeting, like forcing myself to meet all these people and be like speaking openly and like that. I think that's helped me become a little bit more extroverted, and I think that's a good thing too. And that's Magic in general too. It's a great way to force yourself to socialize with people, which is definitely a healthy interaction and human thing to do. I did want to mention that I think I might have told the story already in the pod, but Sky and I almost got 3 Commander players to play Pauper one night. These 3 high school kids were just playing Commander before the event started. One of them turned around and be like, what's going on tonight? Because, people start filling the store, and Sky's just, we're playing Pauper. You guys can play if you want to. I'm like, yeah, we'd be interested. Sky looks in her bag, and I only have 2 Pauper decks though. And I'm like, I got a 3rd Pauper deck. One of you can play this deck if you want to, please. And then the power went out. and I've never seen them there again. So we might have lost them. So close.
Damn. So close. You'll get them back.
So close.
They'll come back. I swear.
Oh yeah. I'm sure they'll be playing Commander there again sometime, and I'll bug the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you guys almost played Pauper. Interest in that? Any interest?
Well, Ethan, is there anything else you wanted to cover with the league, or anything else you wanted to kind of pick our brains about with stuff? I'm super excited to hear how this goes. I mean, you even have your own freaking website with all of this stuff really nicely laid out.
www.pauperpnw.org if you're interested. We've got the event registration. You can sign up for our tournaments online through our website. Very cool, very official. We have like the uploaded calendar up there, so you can click on the calendar tab and say, hey, I'm in the north end of Seattle, where's all those stores? And you can see exactly where they are, what stores, what days they run, see what works best for you. We're just trying to make the onboarding process as simple and easy as possible. Once you join our Discord server, if you do, which you can do from the website if you're a Seattle or Pauper Pacific Northwest local, and you want to join our server, you get put through the whole onboarding process. You can pick what local game stores around you. You get each local game store has their own like channel to chat with the other people from it. We non-Pauper formats, that's also like a thing, because I know I don't know how interested your crowd is with like $30 vintage.
Oh, the value vintage. Oh yeah, value vintage. We have some gamers.
There's a little scene. Yeah,
Pauper Commander.
I'm getting into that. I'm getting the itch.
I have an episode about that.
I feel like I've built the pinnacle of deck building, which is Alexios, because that deck does not lose in Pauper Commander. But that's a separate discussion.
What? Oh, this is from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
see,
3. That guy just went.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it. Alexios, Deimos of Cosmos. This is 3 and a red for a legendary creature, 4/4. So it's a 4-mana 4/4 in red for human berserker. It is trample. When it attacks each combat if able, can't be sacrificed, and can't attack its owner. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player gains control of Alexios, untaps it, and puts a +1/+1 counter on it. It gains haste until end of turn. Oh, okay, sick. So it just runs around the table.
The deck is built around. The deck is built around getting him down on turn 2 or 3. Two is the best case scenario usually. Protecting the hell out of him. You just have like some removal spells to get the blockers out of the way, and then he just kills everyone with combat damage, commander damage, because commander damage is like 20 in that format, so he just kills you in
16.
Like
I think 16. Yeah.
16? Yeah, it's 16.
That
so
is
he kills you in like 2
weird.
minutes. It's fantastic. He just ends the game, and none of the edicts in the format actually work against him.
Can't be sacrificed. That's sick.
A cast down doesn't hit him because he's legendary. He's just a fantastic guy, and I will never build a deck better than that. Anyways,
that's awesome.
That's a whole separate point. But yeah, we're thinking of trying to host. So we have like the 3 levels of events. There's the showdowns, which are the casual FNM style ones, the qualifiers, which lead into the championship. So we have the 3 different styles, and we're thinking of trying to vary the format for the showdowns a little bit more, like maybe having like a Pauper cube, and it's capped at like 8 or 10 people or what have you. Maybe doing no ban list Pauper, team trios Pauper.
That
would be
That'd
super
be a
fun.
sick one. Do unified?
Team unified Pauper
just-
would be wild.
Yeah, this is a side note for you guys though. When we were looking at Pauper, we realized unified is not. I don't think that's actually a good direction to go, because then you're just I think you're gonna end up with less deck diversity.
Yeah.
People are
Mono
just going
blue,
to play
mono red.
monocolor. Yeah, mono blue, mono red, mono green
Spy.
elves, or mono blue, mono red, and spy. Or
Yeah.
that's what it's going to be
Right.
a lot of, because these top decks don't have a lot of overlap. But if you want people to have more deck diversity, then you let people play like Affinity and Jund in the same,
That
because
makes
then they can
sense.
have their draws for his bridges. So I think it's actually better. That's a whole
That's
side
actually
note.
not
No,
a bad
that's a
idea.
good idea.
It's actually really funny. The 3 people, me and the 2 other guys that help run these tournaments, our main decks respectively are familiars for myself, and one of the other ones plays almost exclusively mono red, and the other one plays almost exclusively elves. So we kind of make up like a rock paper scissors trio for
Nice.
each other that cover different decks. Like familiars beats mono red beats elves, and elves beats familiars, and it's kind of fantastic. And I think as a team trio would be scary to say the least. But
You just got to get the right matchups, and then
yeah,
you just
exactly.
can't.
Exactly. But yeah, trios, that would be a fun idea. We're open to other ideas, but once we started running these events and we had the infrastructure for it, people were coming up to us and saying like, "Hey, have you ever thought about running a no ban list tournament?" Or like, "Have you ever thought about running a tournament where it's like you like downshift one uncommon of your choice or something like that?" Like, people
that's
come to us with
weird.
all these
Yeah.
ideas, and there's lots of possibilities for it. But as we were saying before, the demand is there. Just put yourself out there. People want to play Magic. People want to brew, socialize. It's all
Yeah,
there.
and it doesn't hurt to just try. Like, you could just try it once. If it doesn't work with like another, like a riff on the Pauper format, like if it doesn't work, then all right, but at least you tried, and like you gave the players who are really interested in it a chance to like have their moment to shine too. And especially when it's this more casual like showdown level event, it seems like you have a little bit more wiggle room to play around with stuff. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, and especially because we have the freedom of venue. Like if we want to host a smaller one, we can just say, hey, let's go to this little place that caps us at 16 people, because it's just like a storefront basically, and we can run a cube there, easy peasy. We're not beholden to the schedule necessarily. We can throw in extra events if someone wants to do a Pauper cube. I have a Pauper. I'm itching to play Pauper cube. Is what I'm saying.
It's just fun in general.
Yeah.
Cube is fun in general. I put together this Pauper cube, and I just need to find the time to play it.
Yes.
But we've got a nice schedule of events lined up, and a new venue every time, and I'm just so excited to play more Pauper this year. There's a little bit in the back of my head of being like, we've been in a similar format for like the last year since they've stopped doing Modern Horizon sets, and the ban list, doesn't change much. But there's so much room to brew and innovate and try different decks. Like the top most played deck is like what, 11% of the meta?
Maybe,
on MTG
yeah.
Goldfish or something like that. Maybe. I mean, higher if you like combine Mono Red and Rakdos Madness to say like Burn is 20% of the meta. But there's so many decks that are performing well. You look at the challenges, and you can play a different deck every week for the entire year if you wanted to.
I think this last week's challenges, one of the top 8s had a single repeat deck. I think it was like 2 terrors, and other than that, it was 8 different decks and top 8s. Like, overlap between Friday and Saturday, but like still, I don't know what more you could ask for. The stale thing, I won't stand for.
Yeah.
Just from the cat food decks, and
Yeah. Even like little innovations on individual decks. Like I was looking at MTG Goldfish trying to find a good terror list because I wasn't happy with mine, and I saw somebody got 4th in a challenge with 4 Augur of Bolus in their terror deck and 4 of the one Demon Fury, 4 copies of Demon Furier in the main deck. And I'm like, how is this the deck that got top 4th place in a challenge? But it's like these innovations are there. We probably haven't even found the pinnacle of the mono blue terror deck, even though people have been innovating on it for so long. Maybe 4 Augur Bolus is correct, I don't know.
Yeah, that's wild. I saw an Is It Scred deck that was only creatures 4 Augur Bolus. I'm like, that's insane.
Whoa. Yeah, I'm looking at the list now.
I haven't even seen Scred.
I'm looking at that list now. That's Illuminati. Illuminati's always game to try some weird stuff.
Yeah, that was Illuminati.
So this is a Delverless list with the Mystics in the main. Yeah, 4 Demon Furiers and 4 Frantic Inventory, which is the
4 Frantic Inventory.
Yeah, the 2 mana cantrip that you draw cards equal to the number of you draw a card, then draw cards equal to the number of Frantic Inventory in your graveyard. So as you cast them, they or mill them over, you draw more cards. Damn.
And I would say even this version of the deck can be innovated on, because I would try out Philagi Archaeologist. It's basically Augur Bolus, but it mills top 3 and finds a non-creature.
Oh, sure.
And that seems even like a step up for trying to, like, it's not a 1/3, it's a 0/3. Unless it fails, then it's a 1/4. It's got a weird line of text in there, but it's basically Augur Bolus, but it mills you, and I think that would be an upgrade for the Terror deck, where it's trying to mill itself,
That's how the deck started out when like Terror was first printed. It was a Philagi Archaeologist, like it was blue-black Philagi Archaeologist and Gurmag Angulars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the blue-black list was playing a couple of those for sure.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
That's how I was exposed to Terror originally, and this is this is pre-MH3, No, it'd be after MH2. It'd be after MH2. Whenever frickin' Dominaria came out.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. United.
Yeah.
Even within like familiars, which is my like main area, like most familiars lists I see, I'm like, this is crazy. I gotta play this version of it to see why they think playing 3 foils main is the right call, and see like how I feel about it. And there's just so much innovation to do within archetypes, and
there's so many different ways to lose the game with familiars. It's pretty cool.
True.
He can't be stopped. He can't be stopped. Awesome. Do you have anything else you want to cover before we go?
No, I think that's about it. There's like other things Pauper related that I've been getting into, like doing like data tracking and stuff like that, but that feels like a whole separate episode discussion. But
you speak that's next week's episode discussion. Spoilers. One of our friends does data analysis, so we're having
really?
Yeah,
no, I just I made like a spreadsheet where I tracked like every deck I played and my overall win rate and all that stuff from the last year, just to like, I don't know, have the data and see what it looks like. And next year I'm going even harder with the data, seeing like play, draw, win rate and all that stuff. And that's been a fun project to work on. But that's like a whole separate subject. We do not need to get into that. But I love Pauper so much. It's just such a fun format.
It's the best.
No, we definitely need like people that are hyped up about the format, behind the format, backing it, promoting it, getting it started in their LGSs, all that fun stuff. So,
yeah. No, this is good. This has been great. I'm really excited to hear how everything goes for y'all. This is awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks for letting me shout it out on this podcast. Just
always
completely unabashed,
of course,
promotion of our own thing. But at some point I'll talk to you guys outside of the podcast about like event hosting, trying to find places that can actually host like 80 plus people, because even local game stores can't do that usually. For sure. I'd love to pick your brain about that a little bit more.
Yeah, because we're about to dive into the level up above that, even in terms of reaching out to find somewhere in case because we think the 4th cup this summer is going to be even bigger than 80 players than we just got. So
we want it to be bigger.
We'd love for it to have the ability to be bigger. So we're about to jump into those sorts of discussions and kind of get that next level up ourselves. So yeah, we're all in it together. We're all learning this at the same time.
Yeah, I feel like we're like one pace behind you. Like you're hitting 80. By the end of this year, we'll hit 80, and by the time you guys are hitting 200 people at your Common Ground Cup number 5,
Oh boy.
We'll be right there behind you.
Man, that would be sick.
It'd be pretty cool.
Cool. Well, awesome.
Maybe we can get some Wizards backing by that point.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
Oh, man. Could you imagine?
That would be cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with us, Ethan. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. This was a great chat. I enjoyed being here.
Do you want people to find you on socials anywhere? Anything to shout out like that?
I don't do social media, but just check out
man.
www.pauperpnw.org to see all the tournaments we're running. There's a link to our Discord there, all the weekly, the local LGSs. There's probably like 12 stores around here that all play Pauper, so there's probably one near you. And if not, make it happen. Let's get this going.
And then we can find you in Discord too. We'll have your league and our events channel too. You can find more of that in like Discord, and then like links in the bio of this podcast too. We can have that there
for sure.
So
yeah, I'll be posting that as I can. You can always DM me, Ethan Unofficial, on Discord. I'm in all the servers. I'm in the Familiars Discord. I'm in the Jund Wildfire Discord. You can find me. I'm around.
In the best Discord too.
And the best Discord, of course.
Yes, of course.
The Common Ground Pod Discord, you can find that in the description below. If you got any comments, questions, concerns for us, you can also email those to at commongroundmtgpod@gmail.com. That in the description link below, as well with the Discord invitation link. I don't know, it's a pretty cool community. We got cool people talking about how their packages got destroyed in the mail and whatnot.
Jeez.
That was just the first thing in my mind. I saw that happen.
Big oof.
So, yeah, lots of fun stuff. Cube Talk, everything. Pauper Talk, of course. We can hear everybody's terrible band takes, including ours. So, I got nothing else, Thomas. If you made it this far, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening, fam. We'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry, I thought we were all going to say goodbye in unison there.
We missed the perfect opportunity.